I think everyone's heard of the golden rule, which is treat others the way you want to be treated. And obviously that can be applied in a lot of ways in daily life, but I think it also can in your creative process.
If you write, draw, take photos, or like in my case, videos for the internet, this can be applied to you in some way.
And for the video creation, the treat others the way you want to be treated translates into create videos the way you want them to be viewed.
Or in less words, create as the viewer.
But if someone is creating something, they probably want to be a creator and not just a viewer. So I'm going to go over why this actually is important, how you can do it for your own creations, and what I do specifically to implement it into my own workflow. So I mean, you can apply it while you're scripting, you can apply it while you're recording, you can definitely apply it while you're editing, and even things like the thumbnail and title. When you're doing something from the perspective of a viewer, there's a lot of things that you can kind of end up taking out because you realize something's a little bit too boring or drags on a little bit too long, or just doesn't come off the right way. And as far as affecting the end product, that just makes it feel like there's a lot less time wasted and the whole video is just a lot more cohesive.
There are a lot of things I like to keep in mind while creating.
Kind of a good rule of thumb that at least I like to follow is you should be making the videos that you like to watch yourself, or videos that don't exist that you wish did. Like at least for me personally, I kind of like watching and making videos that are kind of leveled with the viewer. So I try to be as conscious as possible about things like camera angles and even like tone of voice. I think I just had a voice crack when I said that. That's actually embarrassing. And to try to kind of keep up with that authenticity, I always try to be just brutally honest. Like that's why I made a video why I don't upgrade my iPhone and I still have an old iPhone. And that's because I genuinely think that it's not necessary to always upgrade your phone. And the same reason when I upgrade my MacBook to something totally overkill, I admit that's just a luxury and that is not needed, and I'm not gonna make excuses saying that it is. So I guess I always try to create with the same voice I have as a viewer and not just as a creator that's trying to appeal to sponsors or brands or even specific audiences. And to be fair, I think a lot of people don't actually know that they are doing that because it's so easy once you learn basic editing that you can cut around things to make yourself look a lot better than you are at something. And I try to acknowledge and avoid that as much as possible. Like a specific example of that is if you're documenting a journey on something, it's pretty easy to cut out the lows where you're kind of failing, but I actually see a lot of value in that because that's what everyone experiences in their journey of some sort. So although yes, I do try to show the highs of a process, I also make sure to show the lows because again, that brings the video together and just makes it feel more relatable, which is definitely something that as a viewer I can appreciate.
But what's most important are the specific things I do to actually apply this into my workflow.
So again, the first major thing you have to do is kind of just establish what you like as a viewer. And for me, that's something with the human element, something that just kind of feels natural and authentic, but still has a relatively high production quality. And whatever that is for you, just, I guess, keep it in mind the next time you're planning or scripting a video and kind of just build it around the way you want it to feel as a viewer. And for some things a little more specifically, like thumbnails and editing, for the thumbnail, I just like to keep it very simple. I just want it to show what the video is about and not have too many elements on screen. Like for this video, I mean, I haven't done the thumbnail yet, but my plan for it at least is just to have one pretty basic scenario, which is editing and deciding to cut a clip or not, and also just having one basic element of text, which I think communicates the idea as clear as possible while also creating just a little bit of intrigue. And even like the title, I also keep in mind the perspective of a viewer. A lot of people try to capitalize all these different words to make it pop as much as possible, but for me, I just type it like a normal person would type a sentence because that's natural. And again, natural is something I like in videos as a viewer. A lot of the stuff might seem like kind of stupid and kind of overkill, but I actually think it does make a difference. So again, I kind of like to keep it in mind through all steps of my creative process. But where it probably makes sense the most, where it does have a difference, is editing. I think it's also probably one of the easiest ways to actually watch it from a viewer's perspective because you actually have something to watch. A few of the basic rules that I set for myself is whenever I'm bored, I just cut it. And even if I'm not bored, if there's something that doesn't actually add value to the video, I also cut it. And sometimes that sucks because there's like a shot that you spend a lot of time setting up and you just have to leave it out, but I think that's a necessary sacrifice to make the best video you can. And if I'm cutting through something where I have multiple takes, which is pretty often, given I screw up on what I'm saying a lot of times, I try to use the first full usable take when I can, because the first ones always feel a lot more genuine when I'm actually talking. It sounds a lot less robotic than if I repeated the same sentence like 5 or 6 times. And sometimes there's some sections where I get a little too deep into Thank you, light stand. And sometimes I have sections where I just go a little too deep into like personal experiences where as a viewer, I just frankly don't care. So I end up cutting that as well. I actually kind of like to leave like some little side rants and side quests in my video. I just feel like it kind of mixes up what's happening, and I actually want some more of them in my videos, but as long as it doesn't distract from the overall goal too much. And something else that I noticed that I ended up cutting a lot, especially in my first videos, is I end up trying to like hype myself up too much, where I'm like holding myself up above the viewer, which is just not what I intended at all. And I'm also pretty conscious of things like taking on certain sponsorships or promotions. I haven't gotten any sponsorship offers yet, but I have gotten a few inquiries about reviewing a piece of tech or something, but it's not a piece of tech that I would use in my life, so I said no and I declined it because I'm not gonna sit here and promote something that I don't actually think is worth promoting. Again, it just doesn't really make sense for me to promote that when a value of mine as a viewer is authenticity.
If I wouldn't watch a video that I made as a viewer, then I'm not gonna make it as a creator. And that doesn't mean a video idea is bad or it can't succeed, but if you check out the name on my channel, it's mine. So why would I do something that doesn't align with me on a personal level? It can be hard to separate the creator mind from the viewer mind, but the end goal is to create something to be seen by viewers. So it's definitely important to think about their perspective throughout the process. There's nothing wrong with making a video just for it to perform well, and I used to post on a channel that I made to hit a specific audience, which worked. But that channel had people watching for what was being done in the videos and not for who was doing it. And people can watch my videos and only care about the topic I choose to talk about rather than my experience with it. But I know that every aspect in my videos are truly me, what I enjoy, what I find interesting, and a video that I would want to watch.
So as a viewer, those are the things that I look for. So as a creator, that's how I'm gonna create. On this channel, I document my creative lifestyle and kind of everything that comes with it. So if you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching and feel free to subscribe.